how do we start talking about a subject that we've always been told we cannot talk about, where we start to go beyond the barriers that have been placed everywhere in our life, so that we never put the whole complete picture together? Think about what you're told when you have a dinner party. And I mean, I've been present at many where something will pop out of my mouth because I'm not good at editing. You know, I'm not the person that can be made to be socially pushed into a box. So I've been there when something has popped into my mind during the conversation to say, and somebody has said, "Oh no, we do not talk about religion." And for me, you know, religion in my life wasn't even a word really, because we weren't a religious family. But this is how we are stopped from putting the whole picture together. And also, of course, politics comes into that. I'm not going to highlight that one today, because to me, in the bigger picture, that we are walking towards seeing and living ourselves, so that we live from the truth of the whole picture. We are not going to be bothered by the word politics or even living out politics anymore, because this is going to be truth all the way. And for me, it's been an issue of how am I going to start to go deeper into my own mission, which I've known for years now. And I started with everything that we have to throw off from us, like our shadow selves, our emotional damaged selves that stop so much of our real self coming through. But now, sorry about this, I have a washing machine in the area that I'm sitting in today. But the real goal for us is to know who we really are. That's the goal. But before we get to that goal ending, what we have to go through is all the parts of the picture, the larger picture, which have been separated. And separation has been the way of control. I mean, every discipline, every part of our learning, our education, think about this. History is separated from biology. Biology is separated from mathematics. Mathematics is separated from the arts. So even now, in most schools, unless you're in one of the occasional free schools, free living schools that do exist, or the Montessori method that takes you through your whole education, where you are just allowed to follow your own intuition and your own senses. If you don't go to one of those schools, everything is separate, and it's done for a reason, so that everything is mechanistic. It does not join up. It's not an intuitive connection. You are not allowed to delve into two together ever. And it goes right through into professorship, and that's where the total control is, where money is allocated. If you are somebody who is a research student into archaeology, your money will be given on a particular subject, and you have to give a proposal forward so that they know what you are studying with that money that you're being allowed. This is how it works. And what it does is it contains everything. And this is why we've never had the truth about Egypt and the civilizations there, because it was all controlled by professorship. And then what happens is these guys, women who get the funding, you know, are going to deny any other truths that come through just somebody's exceptional thoughts or intuition, or an archaeological find that doesn't fit into their professorship and their scholarship and their funding. So that's how it happens in like civilization histories and all of this. But it's happening in every area. This is why we don't have free energy. I remember working with somebody intuitively, like I'm a channel, and we worked together to see if we could channel information on free energy for society. And there was some amazing information came through, and I am going to put this onto my channel at some point. But what this guy that I was working with, who's passed over now, but what he said to me was he'd met this person who knew a professor at one of the colleges, and he was going to go and talk to him. And I said to him before he went, you know, I don't think he's going to be open to it, but it's going to be amazing, you know, if you go down and try. Because I'd already discovered and knew about the separation control in every one of these different areas of our lives, and it's done for a reason, so that you don't put the big picture together. And he went down there and talked to him, and of course the guy was totally closed because he wasn't working on that, and he wasn't allowed to teach that in the university he was in, and he was completely controlled by the system of separation. So what we're going to do is extend this as I go through this next series of videos. We're going to go into our history. We're going to go into religion and how it's controlled different civilizations in different ways, and how everybody holds on to their belief. So they are never looking at what, like the Mormon is never going to look at what Christianity and Catholicism and Islam, they're just solid on it. I mean, here in Mexico, I've had many Jehovah's Witnesses, and I was just very pleasant and said, listen, I have my own connection to, and I would point up into the heavens, you know. It was an easy way of not getting into those conversations, which can get very heated. And there's no point for me to do that. But on one occasion, I just thought they're going to keep knocking. So I just told them a little bit about my story, receiving pure information through my own ability to reach up into the universal kind of knowledge banks, if you like. And that's probably going to, you know, get a lot of people here to switch off from this video right away to even know that somebody is doing that, because you're going to be called something by different religions, like God, I'm trying to think what this guy actually called me when I was running my Center for Intuitive Living. Religious guy who walked up the steps, and I was just inside the reception area, and I think he said I was a heathen because I was doing healing and helping people with free healing sessions. Can you see where we're going here? If you want to, you know, hear more, please subscribe now, because I'm starting to formulate the whole series of videos that I'm going to be putting out, because we need to do this now quicker than maybe we thought we'd have to. We have to know who we truly are, because the whole of the collective is evolving now, and it's nothing to do with any religion, and nobody is coming through the clouds to save you. It's all about us realizing who we are on a vibrational, energetic level, and healing everything we have to heal within this physical body, and lighten it up to hold the highest frequency, so that we can move forward as the new energies are coming into Gaia, the living entity of our planet. And she is raising her vibration, and we're going to find it very difficult to stay on this planet if we do not comprehend what is expected of us now. And in order to do that, you will need the whole picture. And you will need to take away the coverings, the boxes around you. If you live within a box of the Bible, that's not going to take you where we're going, because it's such a contaminated, heavily edited book that never really started with any of the real information you needed. That was cut out. But by the mystery of the universe, it popped back in through the Nag Hammadi manuscripts that were found in Nag Hammadi, you know, from Qumran, where the Essenes, who were the essence that led to the Cathars and the Gnostics, the knowing that led on through the centuries after that. But this information was there. So if you live within a box of an atheist, that there is nothing beyond, you know, the mechanical life, you also have to get rid of that box too. Start cutting your way out of the box. This is what we're going to be doing over the next series of videos. So please subscribe, please like the video, comment and help me here, because we can start groups, we can start chatting about what the real truth is and how far different groups are away from that. Because what we have to do is cut our way out of all the boxes and come together as the holy collective, rising in vibration. I'm going to leave it here because I don't want to agitate people before they break through. I don't want to bring in too much at once, because I know what it's like when you sit within a box and you got to cut yourself out. I'm also going to give you some of my experiences of why I wasn't in such a formatted box, because throughout my life I have not accepted boxes around me, and we are born in a certain way and we come through certain trauma. Like I was within a pregnant body of my mother when she went through huge trauma, and I think that stopped a lot of the matrix programming coming in the way that it would normally, also throughout my childhood, throughout my life. But we need to start somewhere. So let's start looking, start over the next period of time. What boxes are you living in? You may be living in an academic box of being a professor at a university or having done a certain PhD or whatever, and you've never cut yourself out of that because you have to hold on to that truth because that was your only merit, that you had this PhD or whatever. You may live within a box of religion, and another box of academia, and another box from what your parents taught you was right and wrong. You may be surrounded by layers and layers, and you've got to get ready with those shears to start cutting through. And these are shears of knowledge, true knowledge. These are shears of truth that we're going to cut our way out of the boxes. So think about it over the next period of time. This is not about scaring yourself. This is about emerging from the restrictions that you have around you, because it's not going to help you over the next couple of years. We're in a quickening now that cannot be stopped. You will start to become mentally ill, mentally restricted and agitated as the truth is received through this planet, through the higher frequencies coming in. If you do not allow yourself to relax it all down and cut yourself out of the religious and academic and just informational restrictions that you have. So bye for now, and see you on the next video.